Good morning and welcome to the Top Flight Show. I'm Rich Morell and today we are swapping the sound of hooves for the pitter-patter of fast feet because we are live for the 7th stage in the Top Flight series of 2025 from Aintree Racecourse. Now, before we get into the ins and outs of things, I must introduce my co-host that we've got dotting in and out of the studio this morning. We've got Mr. Race Director Chris Parr sat right next to me.
Morning. I didn't realise you'd done the whole thing about the hooves, so I didn't realise we were going to be horsing around.
Yeah, that won't be the first pun I'm dropping today. Absolutely not. So what have we got lined up for you guys? Well, the Olympians are back. Yes, you guessed it. They're back. They're braying down the door to get in these top flight races. And they want more points, they want more prizes, but ultimately they're wanting to take away the title of Top Flight Series winner for 2025. So before we get into the ins and outs of the athletes that we've got competing today, I'll give you a quick overview of what we've got going on. We're going to be handing over to the ground live at Aintree Racecourse for this 5K that we've got going off this morning. And we've got our man on the ground, Lloyd Kempson. He's going to be getting some interviews with some of the athletes, possibly some of the coaches as well. He'll talk to anyone, will Kempy, so I'm sure we'll grab someone to have a quick chat with. Then we're going to be firing back to the studio where our main race is going to be going off at 9:15. Chris, I'm sure you're really excited about today's event. A lot of effort's gone into it.
Yeah, can't wait. So we did this. We did this event last year in the series, and we had some really fast performances. It's a really fast course. The weather's looking great for today. So yeah, the entry's double what it was last year, so it continues to grow, and looking forward for another battle.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I mentioned, we have got the Olympians back, and we'll flash up our graphic now of some of our leading entries that we've got in today's race. But on the men's side, we've got Olympian Ben Connor lining up, the 13:47 5K guy. He took second place in Battersea Park recently, so he's looking to score points on the board. He'll also be joined by Johannes Gebri-Gerges as well. 14:46 5K on paper, but this man's a 2:06 marathoner, so there's some engine on him. I'll be intrigued to see how quick he goes today. And also on the women's side, we've got Alex Bell back again, 15:36, fantastic run at Battersea Park, and it's great to see her really progressing on the roads. Now, obviously, we've got a lot of other quality athletes in that race, and we'll bring you more information on them as this broadcast goes. But we're hoping to go live to Mr. Kempson on the ground. So as soon as we get the nod from live from Aintree, we'll get you over to Kempy. So Chris, obviously, we've got this whole host of Olympians in the race today, but obviously we've got a few other good athletes in there as well. Rich Allen particularly jumps out at me, the Leeds City Harrier. He's done some top flight races in the past. I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes today.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's really good that week. As you've mentioned, it's the series. We're getting quite a few of the runners coming back, either coming back for the second or third race in this series, including Ben and Alex and Rich Allen, and then also they came to our events last year as well. So it's obviously fantastic that we're getting that buy-in. And yeah, we've said a few times it would take a couple of years before we cemented all the races on the calendar as like the race to do at that distance that month. And yeah, it's nice to keep seeing that come through to fruition. Obviously, they will be pulled in by the prize money. So we've got our prize money graphic that we can stick up on screen now as well. So £200 for the win. And as always, we've got our time-based bonuses. So first down to 8th will get bonus money as long as they are underneath the top flight bonus time. We've got course record bonuses as well. There are some caveats with these. They must be faster than, so it brings it in line with all the other races. But UK bonuses, UK lead bonus, run through record bonus. So yeah, very lucrative for these top athletes, and that has the effect of the next tier of athletes go like, oh, this is going to be a fast race. We've got our best runners in the UK turning out, and international, as you've just said.
Absolutely.
So it's just going to keep getting the fields, faster and deeper each time.
Yeah, brilliant. Right, so guys, I've just had on from the studio that Mr. Kempson is ready to go. So we're going to hand you over live to Lloyd Kempson down at Aintree Racecourse. Lloyd, can you hear us?
I give you a nod.
Morning chaps, how are we doing? Welcome to Aintree. We are in Liverpool at this iconic racecourse. I hope you both are well. Up in the north now, it might look grey and windy here, but I've got the sunnies on, and I can assure you that once that cloud clears, there's going to be a sun beaming down here. But what an iconic place to race. What a location. The runners are starting to arrive. This car park's filled up very quickly. And we're actually now just under 20 minutes away from the race start. Now the setting itself, it's flat, it's fast as you'll know, and obviously we've got some incredible athletes to look forward to today. Again, being headlined in both the men's and women's races with Ben Connor, Olympian, and Alex Bell, Olympian as well. Now, 200 quid for the race win today. We've also got the bonuses as well if the times can be quick enough. There's so much money on the line for these athletes to chase, and that's probably why Ben Connor and Alex Bell are back right at the front. We've already seen some of the athletes warming up around us. I've already seen Alex Bell. She's on her warm-up at the moment. Richard Allen's here along with Ollie Lockley as well. They'll be contesting in the men's race, trying to take the crown off Ben Connor. There's a lot to look forward to today. But as you can see behind me, unfortunately they're not going to be on the jumps today. It is a flats race. But over there, the sign-in area, all of the runners are just making their way over there. We've got our sponsorship tent. It's all going on. And we're now, what, 7 out of 12 stages into the RunThrough Top Flight Series. It really has sort of cemented itself as a great domestic option for a lot of our athletes. We obviously saw Battersea Park was fire the last time we were out. There was so many fast times out that night. And I think that because it was so strong in those early races, in the early stages, when you come to the north like it is today, then the athletes will travel from all over. And we've seen that with races such as Shelston, where we had athletes from the south of England travelling all the way up to the north of Scotland. Now, in terms of today's race, it's 2 laps of this course. So maybe it's going to be a bit of a tactical affair, similar to what we saw at Battersea, where it's a 2-lapper there, where the first lap, everyone just kind of, chilled out and waiting for their right move to make in the second lap.
So we'll get back to Mr. Kempson live on the ground there. Like we mentioned, he's going to be getting some athlete information there, some interviews with them, and possibly dotting with the coaches as well. And he mentioned it's a fast and flat course that we've got at the race ground today. So if you guys can remember back to last year, we had Omar Ahmed taking the win in the men's race and Amy-Eloise Neale taking the win in the ladies' race, and they were both ran in ridiculously quick times there. I think we had Omar Ahmed across the line in 14:07. And Amy-Eloise Neale down in the 15:30s at that point. So yeah, we had some fantastic performances there, and we chatted on our podcast recently about the race course and why we think race courses are good venues to have to hold 5k races, 10k races. And the chat from Chris Power, race director then, was that with the race course, we've got a nice flat terrain anyway. It's nice and smooth, which is what you want as an athlete. You don't want to be mixing it off-road onto gravel and things like that. If you want to get in a rhythm, you want to build the 5k race, you want to build your progress through the 5k as well. So it's key that we have a nice terrain for the athletes. So that was one of the things that ticked the box with Aintree. Following on from that as well, logistically, Chris was saying it's easy to host these events at racecourses. There's no traffic. We don't have to worry about people crossing the racetrack or anything like that, which you may get at some of the other meets, and there's no road closures or anything like that. So I think the key things for today, really, for the athletes who are looking to chase.
Test 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3.
Little groups.
Cool.
And building your rhythm and just feeling out the race as it goes. Anyway, so cool. It sounds like Mr. Kempson's ready to roll again, so we'll hand you right back over to Kempy, who's back on the ground, live from Aintree. So I think the key things for today.
Right, you lost me for a second there, but like a bad smell, I'm back. Cheers, lads. Yeah, in terms of the races today, I think it's a really interesting one in that men's race. Obviously, Ben Connor was second at Battersea, where he was beat by fellow Olympian Sesemann. He's got a different race on his hands today. He's got Richard Allen, he's got Ollie Lockley, a lot of experience in those lads. I think for me personally, his biggest challenge is going to come from Rich Allen. Over the years, he's been a demon on the 5k road circuit. It's almost his baby. It's the one that he gets right. I've seen him race, like the mid Cheshire 5ks. He's always there or thereabouts with a K to run, and then it's just whether he can bring it home. But he does have a right sting in that kick. So I think if he's there with Connor, if Connor doesn't shake him, I think Rich could be a real danger. Over on the women's side, I don't want to say that the race is already run because it's not even started yet, but it's hard to obviously bet against Alex Bell. She showed her class when she took the win at Battersea in a new personal best. She's run 15:36 this year. That's not hanging about on the roads, and I just think that she may have a little bit too much quality, that star quality, for today's field. But that's not to say that athletes like your Rachel Browns, your Kirsty Longleys, they can't take it to her. And in a mixed race, when the men and women run together, who knows? You know, it's anyone's money. But for me today, I think in that women's race, Alex Bell is going to take the win. Now, in terms of the Top Flight Series, it's not just money that they're running for today; it is the points as well. And then obviously at the end of the season, then you know the pay all the way down in the series. So athletes like your Ben Connors and your Alex Bell will be hoping to rack up some points again. But we're going to go to back to the race start. We're going to have a little chat and see what you boys, Chris and Rich, you think about today's race. What are your thoughts on my predictions, shall I say?
I'd agree, Lloyd. I think Rich Allen is not one to be slept on, absolutely not. And like you mentioned, a bit of a 5k road specialist. I've seen, you know, I was scoping his profile out the other day. I think 7 5k races in 2024. So he's obviously an experienced road runner anyway, but also around that distance of 5k, he's boxing them off, not week in, week out, but he's doing a lot of them. So he knows whereabouts he's at in the 5k, how he's going to employ his tactics. And it's a tough one for Connor because Ben is the leading man on paper. He almost has got to take it out because, you know, he stated at Battersea it's 5k in it. It's almost, for a marathon man like Connor, it's a sprint almost for someone like him. So I imagine Connor's going to take it out hard. Rich Allen, he's just got to dial in, just focus in, and sit on the back of Connor and try and do him that last 100 meters. Alex Bell again, yeah, you don't want to say the race is done before it's even started, but it's hard to see past her. She's in scintillating form on the road. Low 15:30s, a solid 10k outing last week as well. So it's really hard to see past Alex Bell. Doing a job today as well. Another guy that I would say we should watch out for, Samuel Roberts, 14:13 in Armagh earlier on in the year. And I noticed he's been doing a little bit of track work and he's knocked out a 3:51 PB over 1500. So there's a bit of sharpness there. Depending on how the race pans out, you know, he could feature. He could feature in this race. So yeah, those are my thoughts on it. For what it's worth, Lloyd, and I'll ping it back to you.
What? Just come in for 2 seconds.
Depending on how the race yeah, those are my thoughts on it. For what it's worth, Lloyd, and I'll ping it back to you.
Can you take that? I'm going to do that.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, Rich, about Samuel Roberts there, that 3:51, 1500 that he's run this season. I think the 5k on the road, whilst it is a long distance event, as you boys all know, and I definitely know from running them, it really brings the track and the distance boys together and the distance runners together, like your Ben Connors, who's obviously a marathon specialist, but going up against a runner like Sam Roberts, who's got that speed in his legs from the track this season. If it comes down to the closing stages, all of that sort of pedigree goes out the window and it comes down to a 400 or a 600 metre race. And if it does come down to that, then your Samuel Roberts are going to be rubbing their hands and thinking, well, now you're in my territory. For me, I think you're right. I think Connor's going to try and shake him early. I think he's going to go out like an absolute rocket because I think in his head it's a case of I've got to get rid of the kickers before, you know, the last 400 or so. So I think for runners like Roberts and Rich Allen, their job is to just tuck in from any wind, take the shortest route and try and stay on Connor's shoulder as long as possible to get it into the sort of business end of the race. In the women's race, it is slightly different, isn't it? Because Alex Bell, she is in a class of her own, and I think that she will probably come into this race and think, listen, I can win this race. I think it's mine to lose, so I'm going to try and tuck in with the boys and try and run a fast time, and not really worry about anyone in the women's race that's behind me. But we've got about 10 minutes time, lads, until the runners will be lining up. We actually haven't seen many runners yet because, ironically, where we're situated at the start, the siding area is behind us, and the warm-up loops all the way around the racecourse. So we haven't actually had a chance to chat to any runners yet. But as they come down to the start, we'll grab them for a few words, just like we did at Battersea. I can see a runner making his way down now, but it's a great setting here. I did say when we first came on live on the stream that cloud would clear and that sun would come out, and for the first time today I can see a ray of sunshine, and I finally am hopefully going to stop getting looks of why is that Southern Fairy wearing sunglasses. But the sun is slowly coming out, and when that cloud does clear, I'm telling you now, conditions are going to be perfect, because just in the half hour that I've been here, the wind has settled, and I think if it does ease up a little bit, I think we could see some fast times at the front. But fingers crossed that the sun comes out. But as we say, this is 7 of 12 legs of the Top Flight series. There's still a lot to run for. There's still a lot of money to be won, points to be won. Similar to the Tour de France, you know, it's a similar setup, isn't it? You know, you can almost at the start of the season, the runners can look at the race calendar, the race schedule, and think they're the ones that I'm going to target. They're the ones that I'm, you know, probably got my best chance at finishing high up. Or you do an Omar Ahmed, as we've seen in the last couple of years, and he just turns up at all of them and says, I'll just win them all and then I'll take all the money home. But he's not here today, so that's it. You have to be here to win it. You can only beat who's here. And for your Ben Connors in the men's race, they haven't got to worry about Omar Ahmed today. But yeah, here comes some runners. I can see a few more making their way down. As I say, we've got less than, what we got? We've got just over 10 minutes to the race start now. So we'll have a little walk. Maybe we'll walk this way, see if we can find some runners and hopefully have a chat. But I think the Top Flight series, we spoke about this in the week before today. We sort of were having a discussion about how the Top Flight series has progressed, especially from the first year to where we are now. I've been lucky enough to be involved since sort of the start of it, and I think it's an exciting prospect, especially for domestic racing. It really bridges that gap between your top level elite world-class competitions and what we're used to on a domestic scene. It gives athletes an opportunity to not just go to nice courses like today, race courses that are going to reward them with a fast time, but also win some money. How many years have we moaned about the sport not paying back our athletes? And that's exactly what the Top Flight Race Series is all about. It gives them an opportunity to come down today, take the win 200 quid, maybe time bonuses as well. And just as I say that, I've just found an Olympian. Come on. We've got 800 metre finalist at the Tokyo Olympics, Alex Bell. Morning, Alex. Yeah, I do get about, I know, I was just saying on stream I'm like a bad smell, but yeah, yesterday in London, today in Aintree.
Very versatile, I love it.
Yeah, well, you know, I've got my rail card. You been to Aintree before?
I've never, no, it's amazing, isn't it? Like, even just driving through, this is like a spectacular event. It's so lucky to have you.
It is, although when I come to race courses, normally I've got a pint in my hand and I'm losing money, but, you know, second prize. I spoke to you at Battersea, you took the win there, big run as well, 15:36 or so. How's your, you know, where's your head going into today? It's a slightly different race ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just racing. I'm not going with anything in particular. The conditions here today are quite blustery, but I've only done half of the course, so maybe we have the wind behind us coming back. But yeah, I just want to race. I said to you before, I just want to get a feel of racing and going through the motions. So yeah, I'm just rubbing shoulders with people, and if we get a good time today, that's a big bonus for me.
When you go into these races, with them being a mixed field, does that help you as a female athlete because you can just latch on to someone that's your pace, or is it a bit of a negative because obviously it's hard to see the women's race when there's loads of fellas around you?
No, I love running with the guys, and I think that's the beauty of running. When we're in mixed races, there is something and somebody for everybody to latch onto. And I did a 10k just last week, and I couldn't have done it without the boys, to be honest with you, getting me round and you know, towing and clawing Lily back the other week. But yeah, I see it as a huge benefit. I don't see any negatives into it whatsoever.
Well, we're buzzing to have you back, and fingers crossed we can see you on the podium again. I'll probably be chatting to you in about half an hour's time, hopefully with a winner's check, eh? Best of luck, Alex. Smash it out there. Yeah, nice to see you. Always a pleasure to see Alex Bell. She's a ray of sunshine, and anyone who's had the pleasure to chat to her will know that. I've also just seen Kirsty Longley fly past us, nearly knocked me out doing one of her strides. She's a veteran racer. She's got a personal best of 16:24, super experienced. And I said in the preview in the week that she loves a scrap over the 5k. She's one of those athletes that just gets so stuck in, and to be honest, won't give Alex Bell any respect once the gun goes that she's an Olympian. It'll be a case of, listen, I want to beat you. I'm not fussed if you're an Olympian, and we like that. And as yeah, she's making her way down. Maybe we can grab a little word with her. So let's come on over this way. I've got to stop her in her tracks. Kirsty, you got time to chat to us?
Yeah, sure.
Come on in. Come on, you're in the zone there, weren't you?
Yes.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. But enough about me. It's all about you today. We're just saying on camera that you're a right scrappy racer and you're going to get stuck in today, aren't you?
Yes, and it's nice. It was 10 minutes from my house, so I've never raced so close.
You can't be late when it's 10 minutes.
No, so it's good fun and it's a good venue and I'm looking forward to it.
Have you raced around here before?
I did a 10k years and years ago, and I did the British Masters cross country that was on the grass. But it's just amazing, and it's nice to support Chris and Top Flight.
Yes. Yeah, nice little shout out there for Parsi. He's watching in the studio at the moment. But we just had a chat with Alex Bell, the Olympian. Now, how's your head going up against an Olympian? Are you thinking, do you know what? I couldn't care less. I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it.
Do you know what? I'm just going to do my own race. You know, she's training what she's training for. Obviously, she's a class act, but you can only be as best as your version of yourself. So, you know, I'm probably old enough to be a mother.
But if the opportunity comes to our kicker, I know you're going to be right there.
I will. And it's my birthday tomorrow and I'm 49.
Hey, well, happy birthday for tomorrow. Wouldn't it be nice if you could have won a few quid and then drinks on you tomorrow at the birthday party?
Thank you.
Have a great race, Kirsty. There we go. I was so happy to be here at the Aintree Top Flight. I mean, I don't know if that's a reflection on us guys or Kirsty's just loving life. We've also got Ollie Lockley here. He's just doing some strides. Ollie's an athlete that runs. He gets support from Mizuno. We chatted to him at I'm trying to think I think it was Battersea Top Flight last year. But Ollie is a great talent. He's got so much experience over these distances, and it's one of them, the 5k for Ollie, where it's a bit of a sprint for him, a bit like Ben Connor. So he'll drop down in distance, and then we'll see how he fares today. Talking to Ben Connor, there he is. Let's go find him. Although he's hard to catch. Come on, keep up. So we've got Ben Connor, who's just gone down there and done some strides, so we've got absolutely no chance of catching him, but hopefully he turns round. But we just had a chat there with Alex Bell and Kirsty Longley. If you're just tuning in, welcome to this is Aintree Racecourse, and my name's Lloyd, and we're coming in live, and we've got less than 10 minutes now until the race start. 9:15 is when things gets underway. It's 2 laps of this iconic course. The boys back in the studio will be bringing you live commentary, and it's all going to be going down shortly. It's £200 for the race win. We've also got time bonuses as well, and there are points up for grabs. We always go on about the money at Top Flight, but the points are well worth remembering, because ultimately if you're going to turn up to multiple Top Flights, those points are going to come back and pay dividends later on in the season. So where's Mr. Ben Connor? Let me have a look. I think he's nipped off to the toilet, so we'll catch him when he comes back through. We were chatting about Ollie Lockley. He's another athlete that'll be well up there today. I can see that he's coming down doing his strides. We'll grab him for a chat. Come this way, and then we'll grab Ben Connor on the way back through. I bet he runs off. He doesn't want to talk to me. Oh, Ollie, you got time for a chat? So we've got the man himself. Come on over, Ollie. I was just chatting off screen there that the 5k is a bit of a sprint for you, but you'll be all right. You know what you're doing, don't you?
Yeah, it's definitely more than a bit of a sprint, but yeah, I'll give it a good go anyway. Just want to try something different this season and just give it a go. And this is fairly close to home, so yeah, it's quite handy.
You've done a few Top Flights now, and you know how it all works, but obviously there's money up for grabs, which is always good. We were chatting about the opportunity for athletes to win race money. It's a bit of a rarity, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, you can to some degree pick and choose your races, especially on the road, but these sort of events are great because it provides good competition, and if there's a bit of money, then the competition's only going to get better. So it kind of is, it's good for everyone, really.
Best of luck out there, mate. We'll see you after, and hopefully you're on the podium.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ollie. Thanks, mate. So we'll come this way. We've got Mr. Ben Connor. He's just doing his final preparations. I always get a little bit nervous when I go up to a runner of this stature, because it's like, do you want to knock them off their game? But no, he looks all right. You got time for a chat, Ben? Come on in, mate. Come on in. We've got Mr. Olympics. How are we doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Welcome to Aintree. Is it your first time racing here?
No, I did a half marathon actually a couple of years ago, but yeah, first time for the 5, which will be nice.
Yeah, should be good. Got some good lads up there. You got Rich Allen, who's obviously very experienced at these sort of domestic 5Ks. Is it going to be a case of you just going out from the gun and trying to shake the kickers?
Yeah, probably. Usually what I do, and it just didn't work last time, did it? With Phil sat on me, but we'll try again. We'll keep going.
Oh, I love it, mate. And we're just saying, Ollie Lockley there, the Top Flight series is such a bridge, isn't it, between that sort of top level and domestic racing. Yeah. But also brings an opportunity to win a few quid as well.
Yeah, exactly. Especially road races in the summer. It's kind of nice for those road guys to get out there and be able to do something before the autumn road racing season starts. So.
And listen, I know we're racing over 5k today, but when are we going to see you back on the marathon start line?
End of the year, Valencia, hopefully.
Let's go. Best of luck, Ben. So that's Ben Connor there, he's doing his final preparations. He said he's training for Valencia Marathon. Oh crikey, today's going to feel like a sprint compared to the Valencia Marathon. But listen, it's 12 minutes past 9. I'm going to hand it back to the boys at the start of the race. We are going to literally get them lined up any second now. Back to you boys, to Rich and Chris, and we'll check in with you at the podium and the presentation. But this is Top Flight Aintree. We are ready to roll in just a few minutes' time.
That was with our man on the ground, Kempy there. Fantastic work from him, dotting in with multiple athletes there. Interesting to pick up the different vibes from each of the athletes there. So you've got Alex Bell, quite a relaxed Alex Bell, I would think there. Just going to tuck in, run her own race. And similar with Kirsty Longley as well, our series champion from 2024. She was looking relaxed, and I guess that's the theme that you get with these mixed races, because there's no pressure on the athletes to perform necessarily within the other groups that they're racing against, so they can just nestle into groups there and just get cracking away. We had some words from Ben Connor as well. Interesting to see how he goes as he lines up for a marathon later on in the year. And like he mentioned, and he also said this at Battersea as well, it's like a sprint for him. It's 5k. He's going to get out and he's going to run it hard from the gun. So a slightly different approach for Connor there. And I think psychologically, it's quite a hard task to take on yourself, to think, right, I've just got to get out there, I've got to hit this hard, I've got 3 and a bit miles, and it's going to be a gun to tape effort for him. So yeah, intrigued to see how he goes with that. Obviously, we've mentioned Rich Allen and Ollie Lockley towing the line today as well. And another athlete we should be mentioning as well is Gabri Gerges, 2:06 marathon runner, former Olympian as well, also competed with Connor in the 2021 Olympics. So yeah, we've got 2 Olympians there that may know each other a little bit better than you would expect. You know, Gabri Gerges' PB, it's 14:47. That doesn't really mean too much. If you're running 2:06 for a marathon, you've got more in the legs than a 14:47. So intrigued to see how he goes today. You know, obviously I had a good little bit of research on Gabri Gerges. He hasn't really raced much in the past few years, so you know, race rust is going to be a factor for him. And coming down to 5k as well, it's a sharp event, so to be getting back on the racing scene with a 5k, it's going to be tough for him today. But we can see our cameras are getting in position. We'll be getting this race underway shortly here. I'm really excited about this fixture, the 7th stage in the Top Flight Series for 2025. Like we've mentioned, we've got the Olympians back, and that's something that Kempy alluded to about the progress of the Top Flight Series, and something that I'm conscious of as well, being part of most of these events. We can see the depth in the field growing each time. And you know, to have 3 Olympians towing the line today, it's fantastic. But it's not all about them as well. You know, we've got quality athletes in Samuel Roberts. We've got Rich Allen there as well, Ollie Lockley. So you know, the quality is really there. Kirsty Longley, she won the series last year as well. We were due to have Heather Townsend in our race today, but unfortunately she did nicely let Chris Parr know that she wasn't going to be racing today, but she's looking to eye up one of our later fixtures in the year as well. So, you know, we wish Heather a speedy recovery from a little hamstring niggle, but I'm sure she'll be back on the scene after some positive runs last weekend as well, over 10k. So we can see our start line. There looks to be the athletes just milling around the final few seconds before the race. Obviously tension's high, you know, for you guys watching at home. I don't know if any of you have ever competed in races. For me, I was always a bag of nerves before we got underway with a race there. I was just wanting to get it underway and get started. And as soon as that gun went, the nerves would just disappear. You know, we've got a lot of experienced campaigners in there. They might manage things better than I would have done back in the day. So yeah, we can see we're about to get things underway. As I mentioned, the course as well, and you know, Lloyd mentioned the weather conditions down there. It does look a little bit blustery, so not ideal for the athletes, but they can work in packs, especially for the likes of, you know, Alex Bell and Rich Allen and Kirsty Longley. They can nestle into little groups there and pass the time and stay shielded from the wind there. The course itself, you know, it's really flat, and I mentioned the terrain before. We've actually had sections of tarmac put down, so the athletes have almost got a strip to run down. That's how much effort we're going into in these top flight races, so they don't have to be mixing it up, dipping onto gravel, potentially breaking that rhythm. So yeah, we can see the athletes almost ready to go, and we'll get back over to that start line shortly. As I mentioned, this is the 7th stage in the Top Flight Series. You know, we've got 5 more fixtures to go, and you know, we've got a fantastic year lined up. And you can see we are off. So 7th stage in the Top Flight Series of 2025, the Aintree 5K. The athletes are out the blocks. I'm not going to drop any more horse racing puns here, but it looks like Ben Connor is straight out of saddle there to the front. He told us what he was going to do, and he's done exactly that, straight to the front there. So the key things, I think, for the likes of Samuel Roberts, for the likes of Rich Allen and Ollie Lockley, just sit in. Let Ben Connor do the work. You don't need to take any wind. He's told you what he's going to do. He's going to get out and hit it hard. Follow him, track him all the way, home in on him, and that's it. That's your job for today. If I'm their coaches, I'm saying to them, you lock eyes on Ben Connor and you do not let him out your sight. And when you get that last 100 metres, you put the boot in and you give it all you've got. Now, that for me, sat in the studios, that's really, really easy to say. Ben Connor is a quality operator, so he's going to be thinking the opposite. I'm going to get out there, I'm going to crank this pace from the front, I'm going to slowly increase it, incrementally, I'm going to screw it on you guys, and you're going to fall away. And one by one, as he's done in previous races, people have fell away. So, you know, it's a battle of 2 tactics here. Is the front runner going to get away from things, or is the pack going to hunt him down and drop him that last 100 metres? So that's going to be really intriguing to see there. And we can see straight onto the back of him there, you know, we've got Ollie Lockley there, we've got Rich Allen nestled in that pack, and we've got Samuel Roberts there. No obvious signs of Gebri Gerges yet.
We didn't have the air horn 30 seconds
second
before,
screen
so I
is
had to
up
leg
and
it.
running, and we can see Alex Bell there. Now, what I would like to see from Alex Bell is for her to have a little bit of company, because this is 5K. Yes, it's only 3 miles, but if it's a little bit blustery, it's a long way for her to go solo. So I'd like to see her get into a pack. Now, there is a group just in front of her there, so there's potential she can get onto the back of them. You know, people can get carried away at the beginning of a 5K race. You know, they can hit that gas early on and really start pushing from an early standpoint. But actually, Alex Bell, she's an experienced campaigner. She knows what she can do. She knows what her body's about. So she may be just backing off a little bit, and hopefully that group in front of her will come back to her, or some other athletes will surround her. So I'd like to see her in a bit of company, to be honest, just for them to take the wind and take these for her. But you know, she's in scintillating form, is Alex Bell. Obviously, you know, an Olympian from 2024. You know, she's dropped some fantastic times over the 800 metres. Sorry, I'll get that right. She wasn't an Olympian in 2024, it was 2021. She was an Olympian in the 800 metres and made the final there. Fantastic athlete, but now she's transitioned over to the road. 15:36 at Battersea Park. She took the win there, and she's also competed over 10K and 32:34. So she's really establishing herself on the road as a top performer. You know, you're not running them times and, you know, not being considered as one of the, you know, top forces in UK road running. So Alex Bell is really establishing herself as a quality operator on the road, and has actually transitioned over into that road running really quite smoothly. If you think this time last year she was still competing on the track, now she's establishing herself as a strong road runner. So on to the front in the men's race, we can see Ben Connor there. Again, on the front, as I said, he told us what he was going to do, and he's done that straight away. So we've got our time graphic in the corner there, so you can pick up the splits for the runners as they go through the K marks and our mile marks there, whether you're working kilometres or miles. But yeah, Connor on the front, just churning away. He looks good, he looks relaxed. As you'd expect, though, they're not even a mile into the race yet. And he's broke down that group already into 4 athletes. And Alex Bell, she's still in a little bit of no man's land here. The group in front of her, they look to have got a decent gap on her, and there's no one else around her. So it's becoming a little bit of a time trial for Alex Bell, which is tough for her. But, you know, mentally she's going to be strong because of all the experiences she's gone through, you know, World Championships, Commonwealth Games, European Championships, Olympic Games. Olympic finalist over 800 metres. So she's an experienced campaigner and, you know, racing regularly on the road scene now. So hopefully, you know, hopefully she can get in a bit of company. But if she can't, you know, she's going to be experienced enough to know how to work her body over this 5K. So fingers crossed, you know, she does get a little bit of company. You can see the terrain's changed slightly there. It's a little bit off-road, this section, but more like a gravel trail there. And as they flick back down onto the flat of this 5K course, it is 2 loops. It is 2.5K loops. And after the race, what we're going to do is we're going to hand back over to Lloyd Kempson on the ground, who is going to bring us some post-race interviews, get some podium shots of the athletes as they collect their prizes there. But Ben Connor, we can see on the split screen there, great graphic for you guys at home there as well. I've got the both races underway, but you can see Ben Connor, he just looks to be stretching it. He looks to be pushing all the time here, and although he looks relaxed, when I say he's pushing it, he doesn't look as though he's straining. He looks relaxed. I can just see the just subtle changes in the group. You go from that pack being tightly knit together to then just disbanding slightly, and it looks to me here like Connor is making a bit of a move. And I spoke about this at Battersea Park. It's as much as it's a physical battle, this race, it's also a psychological battle as well. And Ben Connor, if you notice the way he runs, he's very, very good at putting subtle psychological moves on the pack, what I call boss moves, right? And I tell you why he does that. He just, with him systematically breaking down the pack, he just runs, assert, and then people start to drop off. So hopefully what we're going to do is at the halfway mark, we're going to get Lloyd on to get his halfway feedback as we're getting our splits through around about the 1K mark. We got Alex Bell clocking around about the 3 minutes for the first K, which is, you know, ridiculously quick. She's down at 5-minute pace there, 15-minute pace there. So we'll try and get you as many splits as we can throughout the race. We've got Kirsty Longley. She looked as though she went through in around about 3:16 for that first K. And we've got Emma Nevey around about 3:23 for the first K. So it looks like there's some quick opening Ks for the ladies in that race there. We've got Kirsty Mayer as well. She went through in 3:03. So she wasn't too far behind Alex Bell. Obviously, we haven't got a shot of her there. And on the men's side, we can see Connor again, just like I mentioned, systematically trying to break down that field there and putting in these boss moves, what I've mentioned before. The psychological battle in this 5K is also a big factor. And yes, Connor comes out and tells you what he's going to do. It almost, you know, you would think as an athlete, well, all I have to do is do this to counteract that. It's not as easy as that. You see this in many sports. You know the game plan that one athlete's going to put in place. And you can think, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to employ this game plan, and that's going to counteract that, and I'm going to beat them. Doesn't always work like that. So we can see them coming through. They're past the halfway mark now as they head out into the second lap. Now we can see that pack on the men's side, it's whittled down again. Now Ollie Lockley has gone off the back now, and that's because of what I mentioned, Ben Connor putting in these boss moves. Now, interesting, who is the man that's next to him? Yes, it's Rich Allen. We tipped him at the beginning of the race. Kempy mentioned him at the beginning of the race as being a prolific road runner. And speaking of Kempy, I'm going to hand over to him now because I can see him there. He's got the shades on. Kempy, what's happening?
So they are now into the second half, ladies and gents, and the men's race right up the front is exactly what we promised. It was Ben Connor on the front, setting a fast pace. Rich Allen was tucked right in on his slipstream, and Ollie Lockley was there as well in third. Them three are starting to get away. In the ladies' race, Alex Bell, the Olympian, she is clear. She must have a good 45-second, 60-second lead at the moment, back to second and third place. So as long as bearing a disaster, that race looks wrapped up. But I can see him headed over the backside now. It's going to be interesting to see over the next lap who's going to make the moves, and shortly they're going to be steaming down this final straight, and we're going to be rewarding them not just with their cash prizes but the points as well. Catch you soon.
Words from the man in the shades, Kempy on the ground, and as he said, we are through the halfway mark. At the time when Kempy probably seen them, Ollie Lockley was just on the back there, but as I mentioned, Ben Connor putting in the boss moves, and it's the danger man, it's Rich Allen. He's there in the mix, and as we mentioned, Rich Allen, he can finish strongly. So Connor's got decisions to make now. He's got about a mile to go, and I know he's stretched it from the front there. Does he push again? Does he bide his time and think, I'm going to push at a K? Do I push from a mile out? Do I try and break Rich Allen now? Or do I wait till a little bit later on in the race? It's, you know, there's lots of decisions to be made, and you know, you can think in these races you can get on autopilot and you can just whisk away through that 5K. Well, actually, when you get in positions like this, there's decisions to be made, and this is where the experience of Ben Connor, the Olympian, is going to come in, and it's going to tell, and he's going to make a decision about what he's going to do. They both look comfortable, to be honest. When I talk about an athlete looking comfortable, if you're just watching at home and you think, well, what does he mean he looks comfortable? How does he look comfortable? He's running a 5K and he's running really quickly. I'm talking about their form. I'm talking about the way that their feet hit the floor. I'm talking about the rhythm that they're running. I'm talking about the shoulder cadence. I'm talking about the arm carry. That is a sign that an athlete is relaxed. And as I say this, Rich Allen's made a move. Now, I didn't expect Rich Allen to make a move at this point, to be honest. I thought he would wait. I thought he would bide his time. He's obviously feeling good. Now, I've got some splits coming through from race director Chris Parr. Rich Allen, he's flying along here. He's on for 13.52, as is Ben Connor. Ollie Lockley is around about the 40-minute mark. Now, these are rough splits. Obviously, you know, the finishing time is official, and the splits can be off, and there's taking different sections of the race with different wind. But we've got those guys on for that sub 14 minutes, and we've got Alex Bell, who looked as though she's on for around about the 15.23, so that would be a big PB for her. Obviously, let's see what they cross the line in. Back to the race, though, we can see Rich Allen. He went to the front, he made a move. He hasn't shook Connor yet, though. Now, I was surprised that Rich Allen made that move. I thought he would rely on his kick, but he obviously hasn't. And Ben Connor is dug in here. And this is what I talk about with experience. He looked as though he was struggling a little bit, and then he went again, and he thought, nah, you know what, Rich, you're not having it your way, yeah? I'm coming back here. And as I say that, Ben Connor has put in another boss move, and now he's gone to the front. Now, this is all this, like I've mentioned, this psychological aspect. We don't know what Ben Connor's feeling like here. He could be all in, but he was thinking, I just need to get in front of Rich Allen, and I just need to make him graft. I need to make him feel like I'm still there. I need to make him feel under pressure, and I'm going to break him that way. As we're coming into about 600 meters to go now, they hit the tarmac. This is going to be one hell of a finish, I guarantee you guys. And look at that, you can see how passionate I'm getting in the studio there as the camera flicked onto me there. I did not know they were going to do that. But Ben Connor, with 550 metres to go, he looks to be striking, he looks to be digging in, he's working hard. But Rich Allen, he can't shake Rich Allen. He is hanging on for dear life. Now, Rich Allen can kick. We've spoke about Rich Allen's kick. We know he can kick. Ben Connor can also kick as well. He's no slouch over 1,500 metres. But obviously the marathon miles, they take their toll. So what we're going to see here, we're building with 400 metres to go. If we were on the track, we'd be taking the bell now, and you know, the atmosphere will be lifted if we're on a stadium here. Ben Connor is on the front. He's striking for home. He's working hard. Has he got a little gap on Rich Allen? Rich Allen is tracking him all the way. Now, this is perfect tactics for Rich Allen. This is exactly what I'd be doing if I was Rich Allen. I wouldn't be letting him out my sight. I'd be just sat on the back, take the wind, last 60 metres, pop out, bosh, do it, employ the kick. Now, is he going to be able to do that? Because Connor is stretching, and he's stretching hard, and he's cranking this pace now, and it looks to me like he's got a slight gap. When I say he's got a slight gap, he's got a couple of feet. As they come into the finish area, they've got about 200 metres to go now, and Connor's away. The boot is in. Ben Connor has struck for home. This is an emphatic move. This is a boss move. This is textbook Ben Connor. He's driving towards the line now. Rich Allen is left in his wake. And what a kick from Connor. He's absolutely destroyed him. He's learned his lesson from Battersea Park. He got beat in the kick there of the 5K. He thought, it's not happening today. I'm going to be the kicker today. And Ben Connor is whisking into that finish area now. He is going to take the title. He's going to take maximum points from this Aintree 5K. That's going to boost him right up the rankings. And look at the time on the clock here. Around about the 14-minute mark for Ben Connor there. That is fantastic running. Ben Connor, hats off to you. What a performance today. Rich Allen streaking across the line there in second place. Why? I've got a sweat on in the studio here. What a finish to the race that was there, guys. I hope you enjoyed that at home as much as I did there. We can see Alex Bell. She's coming into the finish area now. Alex Bell has had a tough gig this morning. Ollie Lockley across the line there in third place. Great run from him there, around about the 14:30 mark. We'll get you official times as soon as they're through. Alex Bell, yeah, like I said, she's had a tough gig this morning as Alex. She's been out there, she's grafted from gun to tape, solo effort. That's hats off to her as an athlete. That shows the calibre of athlete that Alex Bell is there. She still looks good. I mentioned this at Battersea Park. You can tell when Alex is working, the shoulders get a little bit higher, the feet get a little bit flatter. Now, you would expect that. She's just grafted out a solo 5K. But she still looks good here. And all eyes on the time for her as she gets across the line. A fantastic performance for her. Key thing is for Alex Bell as well, she's going to pick up top points. She's going to pick up another win in a top flight race. That's going to put her on 50 points. She is eyeing herself well for the series. Take away maximum points. All she needs is another win, and that's going to put her in this real strong position to take that top flight series of 2025 and the cash prize of £1,000. So we can see Alex Bell into the final few hundred metres of this race now. She's probably got about 200 metres to go. Like I said, it's been a strong solo effort from Alex Bell. Let's see if she can really rally these last few metres and hopefully get under that 16-minute mark. I think she's just going to be around about the 16-minute mark here, slightly over, which actually is a really strong run from Alex Bell on this kind of course. Solo effort. Well done, Alex Bell. Maximum points. That's the key thing for Alex Bell here, right? She's won the race. She's clicked maximum points. She's had a good workout. She had a tough weekend last weekend. She ran a fantastic 10K last weekend. A couple of weeks prior to that, she was knocking about Battersea Park doing our top flight 5K there. So brilliant effort from Alex Bell there, who takes first place. I'm out of breath, guys. What a finish to them races that was there. Another top flight race. Nearly wrapped up. We've still got athletes competing there. Some real strong runs there. And like I said, we'll bring you all the official results as soon as we get them in. We don't want to give you any fake news. So as soon as we get the official results and official times, we'll let you guys know what's been going on there down at Aintree. The plan is for the rest of the program is we will be going back live to Lloyd Kempston on the ground. Definitely, we're going to get some post-race interviews with the athletes there. So I love that section where you get to see the athletes after they've competed and see how they were prior to the race and then how they're feeling after and all the emotions and their feelings on the race there. So that'll be great to see Kempy getting hold of a couple of the athletes in the finish area, and then we're also going to get our podium presentation on the go as well. So yeah, some great running there. Hopefully the race director, Chris Parr, is going to join me for a little bit of a debrief on how he's felt things have gone. We can see our athletes getting across there. That's Kirsty Longley across the line there, our series champion from 2024. You know, it's great to see Kirsty Longley back in this series because she brought some real personality to the media stuff we were doing in our first year. And she really served the series well. She came out, she turned out a lot of our races in 2024. So I'm really pleased to see Kirsty back. And a big well done to you today, Kirsty. I think you've had a really good run there. Conditions, it does look blustery, mind. I know we talk about, you know, the wind isn't too bad, blah, blah, blah. But to me, that looks pretty windy. So, you know, take them times with a pinch of salt. So yeah, we've got Chris back in the studio. So I'm sure we'll ping back to us in the studio shortly and get Chris's thoughts on that race. And right on cue, Chris, we're back in the studio. Firstly, I'm just gonna, before we get into the results, initial thoughts on that race.
Yeah, that was absolutely class, wasn't it? It was really exciting. You had the group of 4, wasn't it, in the men's?
Yeah.
Just checking I can still actually count here. And yeah, I mean that was a fantastic race, and I guess the 2 favourites ended up winning in the end. And yeah, I think what you've said about the points is bang on here, because we've got Ben and Alex. Alex is now right at the top of the rankings with 50 points. Yeah. One more top flight race will secure her if she was to win another one, she's going to basically secure the win. So be interesting to see which one she does next. And then Ben Connor has obviously got himself 25 points in the bag. He's still going to be lagging behind Omar Ahmed and Sam Gabri-Selassie, who picked up so many points early on. But yeah, it's going to make the series start to really pick up an excitement now with the 5 races to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Omar Ahmed, obviously sitting top of that leaderboard, Chris. But so just for the viewers that are watching at home, say Ben Connor does 2 more of our top flight races and he wins them. Yeah. So his total will it be the top 3 totals that he takes, or would we factor in the fact he was 2nd place in one? How does that work?
Yeah, so it's you. so we didn't want to be totally unrealistic. So it's a minimum of 3 races, right? But it's your best 3 races. So if he wins 3 in total, so if he was to win another 2, then that would cap at 75 points.
Right, okay.
But if we do get to a position where there's a bit of a countback because people are on the same points, then it would be their head-to-head record at Ribble Valley at the series decider. So if it comes down to it, let's say Ben Connor's sitting on 50 points going into Ribble Valley and somebody else is sitting on 75. He could overhaul them by winning at Ribble Valley because the tiebreaker would be Ribble Valley. If it's then like if you still can't split people, it's going to be like their head-to-head records.
Right.
So yeah, we tried to make it as fair as possible, but also as realistic because we can't get people to realistically do all 12 races. So it had to be 3's good, makes it a series. If you want to do 4, if you want to do 5, great, because every race has got that individual prize fund for that race. So every race is a standalone massive event for us. But then let's tie them in together. Let's get them back. And Alex is sitting top of the rankings now. Kirsty's going to be following soon because she couldn't do some of the races earlier on, but she signed up for the next 3. So Kirsty's going to start racking up points to come up. There's quite a few of us who have signed up for multiple. So
that's brilliant to see. Good. Kirsty back actually, and as I said, well done as she crossed the line there because she really supported the event in our first year and really got things off the ground. And for you guys that are maybe just tuning in at home for the first time, Kirsty Longley was actually the champion of 2024, so she won that Top Flight series there. Obviously, Alex Bell sitting top of the leaderboard today. Now, Chris, Alex Bell's race panned out very differently to say how Battersea Park did, how her previous races have done in the last few weeks as well. Still a really strong performance from Alex. In fact, I thought it was a really, really strong performance because she ran that race solo there. But how did you see it? How did you see the race, unfolding for Alex Bell? It was a tough situation to be in, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I think with this one compared to Battersea Park, it's the numbers around it, and like you said, when we cut to the camera, the wind was looking
pretty. It was, Chris. It was.
It was looking pretty strong, wasn't it? So it's a bit more isolated, so she obviously went off quite hard there. There's no issues with the course. There's no hills on there at all. It's absolutely flat.
Pancake.
But it's wind, so if you're exposed, then obviously that can affect you. So the men's had a nice group of 4 where they were, I guess, exchanging places and shielding from the wind a bit. But I guess as these series grow next year, when Alex comes back to Aintree and we've got 150 on the start line there, then that's not going to be a factor, isn't it? So as these races grow, for the ladies especially, you're going to get that effect of being pulled around by the men that Alex mentioned in her interview at the start. Yeah.
And talking about what's next, Chris, obviously I know you know the Top Flight fixtures inside out. So what have we got lined up next? I know what it is, mate. It's your baby.
Yeah, so we got the OG coming next. We got Quayside 5K, which is on the 6th of August. So yeah, that is going to be super fast this year. So I mean, it is already had the second and third fastest winning time in the UK for the last few seasons, with Scott Beattie in the men's running 13:46 and 13:48. Lily Partridge winning last year in 15:42. Yeah. So it was already known as a rapid course, but because of a few issues with the course, like some gas works and such like, but means we've had to adjust the course. We don't go over the bridge at the end, which actually potentially slows you down by a few seconds because you've got to dodge a couple of bollards and it goes a little bit uphill. So yeah, it should have made the course like faster again. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you to it and go back into the studio to see if we can get the results coming through.
Chris, don't be leaving me solo. I can't handle this kind of gig. No, Chris, that's great. It's good to get your insight into this as race director. And obviously you've been behind the scenes today as well, keeping everything nice and in check and in the studio. And I feel like I don't want to jinx it, but fingers crossed, this broadcast has been. It's been bang on so far, hasn't it?
It's been great. So I know quite a few people have been following us from the start, and we've tried to make it up as we go along in terms of the technology.
We've been up and down at times.
Yeah, we've tried to keep adding things all the time, adding split points, adding the second camera, adding the camera on site so that we can get the interviews from Lloyd, things like that. So yeah, it's been really good. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of the mic so I can go and check things are all right, and then hopefully we can get across to the presentations when they're ready.
Yeah, fingers crossed we are going to get over to Lloyd shortly on the ground, and obviously as soon as you get the results live through on, you can filter them through to me, and we'll get them across for you guys that are watching at home there. So yeah, big thanks to Mr. Race Director Chris Parr there. Now he's going to try and shivvy out of the studio without getting in the camera. This will be interesting to see. Yeah, he's doing some little army crawl now. So yeah, some interesting words from Chris there. And again, I'm just going to, until we get over to Lloyd on the ground, where he's going to be getting them post-race interviews. If you are just tuning in and you missed any sections, speak of the devil, and he will appear. There he is, the man in the shades, Kempy, and he's got the 2 winners. He's got the 2 Olympians as well, Alex Bell and Ben Connor.
So here we are, we're at the race finish line now. I'm here with the 2 winners of today's Top Flight Aintree 5K. We've got the men's winner Ben Connor and the ladies winner Alex Bell. It's nearly a rerun of Battersea. Today you got the win, Ben. You must be happy to go one better.
Yeah, I didn't let anyone sit on me. Well, they sat on me the whole way, but I managed to finish a little bit stronger this week, which was nice.
You don't lose the kick, mate. Still there.
Yeah, still there. Just about that old 5k speed coming back.
And winning time. Did you have a look at the clock when you come through?
Yeah, I think it's about 14:10. So probably the same as last time 2 weeks ago. So yeah, similar sort of effort. I think maybe this course is a little bit tougher with the wind and whatnot. So maybe I've pushed on a little bit in the last 2 or 3 weeks, which is nice.
And obviously, Alex, you've got another win under your belt, more points from the Top Flight Series and more cash prizes, but a bit of a different race today, wasn't it? It was a bit of a lonely affair, wasn't it?
It really was. That made it quite tough today. I wasn't expecting to be so detached, but it's fine. I took it as like a good, hard run out. Solo run, but yeah, amazing, like I said, to be a part of this course. It was really good to be part of it again.
We were talking off camera there, you were talking about Fulham 10k, looking ahead, and for you as well, Ben, are you looking at the Top Flight races for the rest of the year and thinking maybe they can fit in with my training?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's another 5k in a couple of weeks in Newcastle, so I might have a look at that one, and then it just depends when I go away training to see if I can fit any more in towards the end of the year. But yeah, I'll definitely fit them in if they fit. So yeah.
I do recommend the Quayside 5k. It's a quick course, and we were chatting about the Fulham 10k as well. If you get the opportunity to come down south, the Fulham 10k last year was rapid, absolute quality. Just quickly, talk to me about the course, because I couldn't see a lot of it. I only saw you when you come through. It looks flat, it looks fast, but obviously the wind is a factor, isn't it?
Yeah, the wind is a bit of a factor. That back bit's really nice because you get a little bit of tailwind on the back bit, but then as soon as you come round onto this front bit here, yeah, the wind's in your face a little bit, but you can't do anything about the weather, can you? So.
No, you can't. And Alex, you didn't have a windshield today. You just had to gun it, didn't you, solo?
I did, yeah. And that's fair enough. I did it, stay true to myself, and just try to have a good hard run out. It's still training at the end of the day, and yeah. Great race.
There we go. Well, there's our 2 winners, Alex Bell in the women's race, Ben Connor in the men's race. You've pocketed not just the cash but the top prizes as well, and fingers crossed we'll see you at the next one. Well done, guys.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, there you go, guys. That's us here at Aintree. I'm going to give it back to the guys, Chris and Rich. These guys are going to head off to the podium, collect their cash. And yeah, like we say, this has been another Top Flight. Aintree's been beautiful. The sun has been shining here in the north of Liverpool. We've got Quayside up next, a rapid race right on the waterfront. And yeah, that'll be 8 of 12 stages for the Top Flight. Loads of running left, loads of money to be earned, loads of points to be won.
Right, lovely stuff there. Great insight from Lloyd Kempson. He's done a fantastic job down on the ground today. So thanks to Lloyd for joining us at one of our Top Flight Series races, and hopefully we'll see him at the Quayside 5K, which is our next fixture. So plan is for us to hopefully get some footage of our presentations. So we'll get our top 3 results from the presentations as well there. Interesting to hear the athletes' thoughts on the course itself there. We had mentioned the wind on the day being a bit of a factor. There was elements where Ben Connor alluded to it being a slight tailwind in sections, but still nonetheless, even with a tailwind, that can affect the rhythm of the athletes as well. So yeah, great insight there from Ben Connor, and also Alex. She did have a tough gig today, and I think she recognised that as well. 5K solo in not ideal conditions. It's tough work for her. And yeah, I think, you know, you look at what Alex has been doing over the past few months, you know, she's raced quite a bit. And like I said, she's establishing herself on the road as a, you know, a formidable force over the 5 and 10K distance. And actually, I think, you know, hats off to her, because her transition from running 800 metres, which, you know, this time last year, she was in the thick of an 800 metre season, to having a winter, doing a few cross races, then getting out there early doors in the winter, you know, competing in the Leeds Abbey Down. Over to the podium there, we can see some of the athletes milling around there, so we can see Kirsty Longley there. She was dotting around, so we're going to get obviously our podium presentation underway, and we will get official results on who has picked up the top 3 places. I think from the men's side, for me, it looked like it was Ben Connor who took first place, obviously Rich Allen in second, and Ben Connor around about that 14:10 mark. And, you know, Rich Allen was shortly behind him. Then Ollie Lockley looked as though he picked up 3rd place on the day there. So Kirsty Longley picking up 3rd place there. So yeah, great to see Kirsty Longley back, and you know, the returning champion from 2024. So fantastic work from her. We've got our 2nd place athlete there, and that looks like, I'll bring you that official result as soon as she gets across. As soon as that gets across for me there, it looks to be the Mizuno athlete. And then we've got our 1st place athlete coming up now, which was Alex Bell, the Olympian, the transitioning athlete into the road. So it looks like Alex Bell takes 1st place there, takes all the plaudits for the day. Well done to Alex Bell.
Well done, guys, well done.
Our 3 leading female athletes.
Aintree, one last time for your top flight female 5K runners. Let's hear you make some noise.
So I can confirm Kirsty Neale in 2nd place there, 16:23 across the line for her, 17:31 for Kirsty Longley in 3rd place, and 16:02 for Alex Bell. So those are your top 3 ladies there: Alex Bell, Kirsty Neale, and Kirsty Longley there. Now we head over to the podium presentation for the men's race, and Ollie Lockley there in 3rd place. Ollie Lockley crossed that finish line in 14:30, so a solid outing for him. Around about that mark, then we had 2nd place, which was Rich Allen. 14 minutes and 14 seconds for him across the line. Solid run from Rich Allen. He gave it a good
Let's
go
see you
as
put
well.
your hands together.
He really
For Richard Allen!
Right point to try and get away from Ben Connor, but Connor just had too much in that finishing straight for him there, and really pushed away with about 400 metres to go, 200 metres to go. So what we will indicate is that Rich Allen and Ben Connor have triggered the top flight bonus times as well, so they'll pick up an additional bit of coin today.
Top flight 5K run this morning.
For Ben Connor and Rich
Ben Connor!
And there's Ben Connor taking the top prize today, 14:10 for the 5K. A real strong run from him, and hopefully we see him at the Quayside 5K. He mentioned it there in his post-race interview with Lloyd, so we'd love to see him down there, because I tell you what, if the weather's good, there could be a sub-14 clocking on the cards for Ben Connor in the Quayside 5K, because that course is absolutely rapid.
Aintree, let's hear you make some noise one last time for the top 3 in your men's top flight 5K race this morning. Ben Connor, Richard Allen and Ollie Lockley. Congratulations, guys. Now Ben, if you can stick around for us 1 second.
So guys, back in the studio, and we are going to wrap things up for you today. So another fantastic top flight event there. The broadcast went smoothly as well, so we've nailed it. The 7th stage of the top flight series comes to an end, and so does this show. Now, what I will say is join us again for the Quayside 5K. We will be broadcasting that one from you, and that'll be on Wednesday, the 6th of August, so look out for that. Now, if you want to catch up on this race, please head over to our YouTube channel, RunThrough YouTube. There's plenty of content on there. We've got our podcast. We'll also have a highlights package from today. And you can also catch up on any of the previous races that the Top Flight Show has delivered well, the Top Flight series is delivered over the year. So there's plenty of highlights packages on there. So please jump onto our Run Through YouTube channel, give it a like, comment and subscribe if you like the content on there. And also we've got plenty of socials on the go. We're on Facebook, we're on X, we're also on Instagram as well. So we've got the Top Flight Instagram page and we've also got the Run Through UK page. So please jump on there for any information about any of our races, any fixtures. You may not be wanting to compete in a Top Flight race, it may just be one of our Run Through races. So please jump on any form of our socials. There's plenty of information on there. So from me, Rich Morell in the studio, it's been a fantastic show and thank you for joining me and I hope to see you down at the quayside.